everyone! Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Psyche Libertina, and today we are gonna look at your 2023 career predictions. This is one part of a two-part reading that I did. The other part which talks about your 2023 love predictions. If you're interested in that, I'm gonna link the video down below, and also within the piles if that's something that you're interested to see. But for this particular video, we're gonna look at your 2023 career. For the first part, we're gonna look at the challenges that you've had this 2022. What has caused you to be in this current situation in terms of your job, your business, or whatever it is that you do. And then we're gonna look at what's coming for you in 2023. How is it gonna be like? And then lastly, we're gonna search for some advice. What are the challenges that are coming for you in 2023 regarding your career, and how do you weather them? Again, if you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're new to pick a pile, then basically I have here 3 piles for you to choose from. Could be the design, the color, whichever you feel resonates for you. So for pile number 1, we have here the Ecological Tarot. And this is the design and your artwork. So pile number 1, Ecological Tarot. And then for pile number 2, we have here your Deviant Moon Tarot. This is the design and your artwork. So pile number 2, Deviant Moon Tarot. And then for pile number 3, we have your Marchetti Tarot. This is the design and your artwork. So for pile number 3, we have your Marchetti Tarot. Okay, so there, please feel free to pause the video if you like. Now, once you've chosen, head over down to the timestamps to see the clickable link for your video, and I will see you there. Hey there, pal number 1. Thank you so much for being here. So if you chose our Ecological Tarot, so this is basically going to be a reading for your career predictions 2023. So first, we're going to look at what your challenges were in 2022, and then what's coming for you this 2023. And then lastly, we're gonna look for some advice on how you can go forward this coming year in terms of your career. So per usual, I have here your pre-shuffled oracle cards just to check the energy of your pile. Now, if you can't resonate with this one, then please feel free to choose another pile. Absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. And similarly, if you're not able to resonate with any of the piles for today's video, then most likely there isn't any message for you on this reading. So again, general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest. So for your first oracle, we have here, reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. And then you have here, leap of fortune. And you have house 9, spiritual growth. All right. So for your energy, pile number 1. I think that right now you're at that point in your career na parang you're planning to move somewhere else, and this thing that you're planning to do isn't really not really related, but it's not in direct relation to what you're doing right now. For example, you're a teacher, and then all of a sudden you wanted to get involved in social work. So what your plans for 2023, your plans or whatever your thoughts are, it's not, you'll feel that it's not, it's not what's expected of you, or you'll feel that it's not something that would work for you because it's very different from what you're doing right now. But based on the energy of your cards, it looks to me like you are, you're just scrubbing the surface of what is coming for you, not just this 2023, but moving forward in your career as well. If you're someone who is looking to change, sort of like change something that you're doing, change your, change your career, change the overall environment in terms of the work that you do or whatever it is that you do in life. This could very much be your pile. If you're someone who hasn't figured out what they want to do, this could also be your pile, because there is a lot of uncertainty in whatever I am seeing here in your oracles. But for some reason, with the leap of fortune here, you are heading towards something that is not only financially fulfilling for you, but it's very fulfilling, or it will be very fulfilling for you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I think that for some of you, most of your like love language would be service. And yeah, with spiritual growth here, I think that you're finally deciding to go after something that makes your heart skip a beat, something that you are really passionate about. Because sometimes, diba, um sometimes kasi, diba, when we work, it's less fulfilling if we don't enjoy what we do. Which is why we're always told that parang you don't have to treat your job like it's just a job. If you want to, if you want to sustain the energy that is required to be able to do what you're supposed to do, then you have to love what you do. So that's when passion comes in. And I think that right now, you're going to be more passionate this 2023 in terms of your career and in terms of pursuing what you want for yourself. So yeah, so that's for your energy. Let's move these to the side first. And then we're gonna look at tarot. Are you seeing that? Let's move this here na lang. Yeah, I think that's better. Or here. Okay. There. Okay, so now, you know what? Let's put your 8 here. Yeah. And then let's start shuffling your cards. These are a little bigger than my usuals, but yeah. So there really is something that's starting for you. Pile number 1, especially since you're pile number 1. So sorry, I'm having trouble shuffling this. Especially with a sunflower here. Sunflowers normally, they depict something that is beginning, something that is starting for you. So yeah. Spirit, career situation for 2023 of pile number 1, please. You have here awakening in reverse. Interesting. So this card is very specific to this deck only. You have the protector of water. Or I believe that's a king of cups. You have here Father Time or the Emperor for this deck. Oh, here. Okay. You have here Idealist. Idealist of water or the Page of Cups. And lastly, you have here Activist of water or Knight of Cups. Back of your deck, you have here Death upright. All right. So obviously you have a lot of, your center card is fire or the Emperor with Mars card, meaning that this is really something that you're going to be actively pursuing your career for 2023, your change in career to be specific with Death here. And other than that, your minor cards are all cups, so it's all about your emotions, whatever fulfills you, which is now you understand why I've been saying earlier that there is some change in scenery that you're going to do for yourself in terms of your career. This is something that's going to be something that you're going to be more passionate about if you are intending to move already. Then I think that it will be a very, very good decision for you, this change in this change in career that you are intending to do. So let's talk about specifically your cards. With awakening here and protector of water, the King of Cups in reverse, I think that you've been suppressing yourself for such a long time. It could be that there are some expectations from you or of you let's say from people, from your parents, ganyan, na parang they probably wanted you to follow their footsteps. Again, this is a general reading, but for most of you, that could have been the case. There could have been people who are sort of like very involved in terms of you picking out a career. If you are already, of age, let's say you're around 30s or something, then you're most likely, parang you're in this job, or you're doing what your family thinks is best for you. It could be na, some of you could have just, parang inherited the family business, but deep down they wanted to be, let's say, a painter, or they wanted to be involved in art, or they wanted to be involved in like events and stuff, or that's something that they love to do, but it's not in line with what is expected from them, or of them by the family. So like I mentioned earlier, this awakening card is very specific for this deck. And the fact that this is the first card that you had, this 2023 is going to open up a lot of doors for you, not just in terms of what you want to do to financially sustain your life, but this is going to be something that's going to open doors for you in order for you to address, that parang nagging feeling, or that empty hole in your heart that you really need fulfilled. Sometimes kasi fulfillment doesn't just come from, from our relationships with people. More often than not, and it's more sustainable actually if they come from a place which is very centered within our own selves. If you look at this card, awakening, you'll see na parang, 'di ba? With this figure here, but she just woke up, and then she has all these purples, which would mean, parang, to me, I look at it like the crown chakra, na parang you're realizing whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life. With the vulture being here, you have been in that situation na parang you were put in a place na parang it's all just about the money, to for a lack of a better term. But you have here frogs. So whatever it is that's coming for you, this 2023, it's going to be financially fulfilling for you. You can see here a lot of frogs, a lot of money, even sunflowers. They talk about money, so a lot of financial stability is coming from you from this decision that you will make. It's not necessary that all of parang yung financial stability will just come from your job, because sometimes oftentimes pala when we feel good about ourselves, and that's how manifestations work. When you're happy and when you feel good about yourself, that's when things just start to fall together. Although this is in reverse, I think that this was one of the challenges that you've had this 2022. I think that you were someone who just really suppressed what you wanted to do in life. And as sad as it may seem, you needed to you needed to be there. It could be that your father was not really overbearing, but he was sort of very stern with how he wanted your life to turn out. Could be na parang you're a family of doctors, but for some reason you wanted to be a teacher, and then they said na parang ay you have to be like a doctor like me, or like mom and stuff. So parang you never really got to pursue your passion. But if anything, I think that more than just your passion, you've been suppressing a lot of parang a lot of the things that you want for yourself in order to make other people happy. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you like unfulfilled, but but not a bad person. Okay, so with father time being here, so yeah, now I know why I kept on saying that. It could be na parang whoever was the masculine figure in your life had a lot to say about you going forward in your career. So with father time being here in reverse, this is the emperor energy, which is ruled by Mars, ruled by Aries. So right now, I think, as we're doing this reading, you're at that stage na parang you're ready to pounce, you're ready to move forward, but not just yet. So there is some withdrawal, there is some, not really fear, but there is some hesitation, kasi nga, this is really something that's different from what you're doing. And then when you look at it, apart that it's very different, you don't see that this one is going to be fulfilling for you, or this is going to be something that will support your needs. However, with the Page of Cups being here and the Knight of Cups being both in reverse, I think that if you decide to move forward with this, then both of these are gonna flip up as well. The fact that these are in reverse, it means that your forward energy isn't really there yet. It's sort of like manifesting for you. Parang kumbaga nakapila na siya, but it's not yet gonna happen because you need to make a choice first. Remember, the energies in our environment change, and the moment that we make certain decisions, that's when things start to progress. So with the Page of Cups being here, it could be na if you're single, actually you could find someone regarding this newfound passion of yours. This is going to be something that's going to sing to your heart, something that's just going to be, it's going to be a very, very easy transition for you. Pile number one. And with the Knight of Cups here, look at how fresh this girl looks. I mean, if you're gonna have like a girl crush, then probably this could be it. It's submerged in water, but it's very, very still. So right now, if there's anything that needs to be resolved within your situation, I think in terms of your career, it's not just really your career that is negatively impacted by all this suppression that you're holding. It's your life in general, because we spend most of our time at work. I mean, most of us do, in the work that we do. If you have a business, you spend, most of your time in whatever it is that you're doing. If you work, then you spend most of your time, at work, including your travel or your lunch breaks or whatever. So being in a situation that isn't fulfilling, that emotion echoes outbound to the universe. So your career this 2023 is going to change, especially with the Death card being here. It's something that you need to, you need to let go with butterflies here and the Death card here. It's something that you need to actively decide to let go, and something that needs to change in order for you to be fulfilled. So this is going to be financially fulfilling for you with the sunflowers here and a lot of frogs and a lot of coins. It's going to be something that's going to grow within you, and something that's going to help you grow further. Okay, so let's put your Death card here. So these cards are a little larger, so yeah, let's clarify these. What is this awakening? Okay, you have here the Eight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, the withdrawal that you've been doing, you walking away, you isolating yourself from, or you parang putting your distance from whatever it is that you wanted to do. Let's say if you want to be a blogger and you think that parang, oh my gosh, it's so unstable, I'm just starting, then it's something that you really should push to do. This has been your problem for the longest time. It's not really procrastination, but it's really just, it's really just depriving yourself of whatever makes you happy. And sometimes, when we do something that we're so passionate about, the money just comes with it. Yes, it would require effort. Everything does, but it's just more fulfilling when you're happy about it. You have here the Nurturer of Water or the Queen of Cups. So again, you have here the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. This could be, actually, I did say kanina na parang you can potentially meet someone when in this newfound change of scenery that you're going to do. If anything, I think that if you meet someone, this probably could be, your twin flame, someone who shares the same passion as you. I think that those people that you're trying to please, which is why you try to hold this off for the longest time, I think that they will be more loving and accepting towards this new change that you're intending to do for yourself. So let's clarify these three. You have here the Two of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Swords, in reverse. You know what? For some of you who are already married, this could be the perfect time for you to have a baby. I think that where you're heading towards is going to be less stressful. Well, it's going to be less stressful talaga kasi it's something that you would want, or you would want to do in terms of your career. It's something that's going to be fulfilling. But with the baby being here, I think that you're going to be birthing new life. So that's just a very particular message, ha? You know what? I'll just put this here na lang. And then you have here the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Alright, so back of your deck, you have here the Guru in reverse or the Hierophant. Okay. So for your cards, it just really amplifies, or it just really supports the message that I told you earlier. So like I said, those people who tried to, not really tried, but who thought they knew better than you in terms of, let me move this up, in terms of your career or what you want to do with your life, I think that they're going to be more accepting. And if you're single and you're going to meet someone, then this is going to be someone who's going to share the same passion as you, someone who's going to love the same things that you do. And your relationship is just going to be fluid. So that's just a side part. Now, by the way, there is another part in this read, in this 2023 predictions. I will link it down below or within this video. You know, the link for your 2023 love prediction. So if that's something that you also want to look at, then head over to that video. Now, for this specific one, for your career, with the Two of Wands here, I did tell you that there is a choice that you need to make. You need to actively choose to go for it. And the Two of Wands does talk about a journey, talks about choices, talks about making the first step into going after something. So it's not really just about crossroads, but of course, it's really just about options and taking your choice, about putting that not just balance, but really, moving from one place to another, moving from a place of emptiness or from a place of drought into something that is far more greener. Sabi nga nila, diba, when you change careers, or when you change jobs, or when you change the things that you do, sabi na, diba, parang greener pastures on the other side. So I did say that this could be a moment for you to birth something. It could be that you could be starting some business, something that will grow. Or for some of you, it could be that this would be the perfect time for you to have a baby. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles being here, underneath the Knight of Cups, this is still a work in progress. This is something that you really need to tend to. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be something that's just, that's just gonna fall into place. It's not really very visible with, parang with a spider web here. It's not something that's gonna be visible to your eye or to those who do not share the same passion as you. Probably they will think that your choice to change careers or to get out of where you are right now is, for lack of a better term, it's stupid or it's weird or it's not something that you're supposed to do. But this is something that's going to be fulfilling for you, and it's something that's going to give you the benefits that you deserve. Remember, diba, parang yung spider web, it's others may think that it's like it's very thin, or it's not going to be sustainable, or parang it's just, is it really even there? But if you look at it from the perspective of the spider, it's something that really works. It's something that brings it food, and it just has to sit there and wait for something to come in, and something always comes in. Some fly will always come in, some benefit will always come in, for as long as you believe that this is something that you can really do. Okay? Now, let's look for some advice. Let's look for some advice on how you're gonna weather this. Kasi, like I told you kanina, it's gonna be very different from how you're doing right now. So it could be na parang there will be some slowness, there will be some, not really stagnancy, but there will be some delays into you reaping the benefits of this, not just choice, pero of this leap of faith, or of this parang courageous attempt at something better. It's not gonna be as fast. Kumbaga parang think of it this way. If you stayed with your job, then you're probably just going to, parang wala, you're just gonna get your sweldo every now and then. But if you move jobs, or if you do something like put up a business or something, there is some delay in terms of the financial benefits of it. But when once you reap it, it's going to be massive, and it's going to be, with all of these cards here, it's going to be massive, and it's going to be extremely fulfilling. You're gonna tell yourself the risk was worth it. So let's just look for some advice on what you need to prepare for and how you're gonna deal with them. So Spirit, what is it that pile number 1 needs to prepare for? So the High Priestess in reverse. Okay. So just be careful of loopholes, pile number 1. Be careful of, be careful of making, but be careful of like bleeding yourself dry. Let's say you wanted to be a vlogger, just, just put some balance on how you want to do it. Let's say if you're gonna buy a camera, don't get a camera that's absurdly expensive as if you're already a professional. Start small and then let it go from there. You have here the Nurturer of Earth, or the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, same thing. Just trust your gut, and don't be careful of impulse buys. Yung mga tipong, alam mo yon, you'll just buy it just because. And then you have here the Chariot upright and the Ten of Cups in reverse. Wow, nice cards. Back of your deck, you have here the Two of Cups. Perfect. Yeah. So again, your relationship comes here. You have a lot of twos, you have a lot of dualities. So it could be something that's going to lead you to a better relationship as well, not just with yourself, but also with someone else. Now, what you need to prepare for, again, be careful of impulse buys. Make sure that you remain grounded and you remain focused on where you want to be. You have here the High Priestess in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, both of which have very feminine energies and are very, very stable energies. But the fact that these are in reverse, it could be that you may find yourself unstable at certain times. Like I said, na parang this is not going to be a walk in the park na tipong the moment that you decide to pursue your heart's desires, it's just going to, give you everything that you need in one whim. It's not going to be like that. You would have to keep on pushing through, with the Chariot being here, in order for you to get this entire fulfillment that you have, not just for yourself, but for your family as well. The Ten of Cups is one of the most positive cards in the deck. Even if this is in reverse, it just talks na, it just states na parang it's not yet there. There is a lot of work that needs to be put in order for you to gain the entire benefit of whatever risk you're willing to take, just to, parang cliche as it may sound, to follow your dreams. So just be careful. Pile number 1, wag kayo magpadalos-dalos. Don't rush it. Just, focus, remain grounded, plan things ahead, and then just keep moving forward. If there are things na parang, parang if you feel that you're lost, take a pause, pray. Look at this image. See? Take a pause, pray, search your inner self. Search your inner self, ask for your guides, and then really just move forward. Just continue to move forward. There are times that it may seem dark, na parang nothing is happening, but all the more that you need to push through. All of these animals are very nocturnal animals. So if you feel na parang it's dark, parang you can't make, parang paano ba yun? If you can't make sense of what's happening, especially in the middle of the year, because I think that as soon as probably by around February, that's when you'll start moving. If, within the middle of the year, you feel, 3 months after, you feel now, oh my God, this is really not reaping anything for me, then you just go for it. You just continue to go for it, and you'll just be surprised na parang things have already things have already started to roll. Na things are just, you know, things are just wait. For some of you, I think this can actually save your family. If you're having trouble with, with your family, with your wife, with your parents, with your husband, with your kids, this change of heart that you're going to do with regards to your career is going to fix everything for you. You'll have more time to deal with your family. You'll have more time to deal with yourself. You'll have more time and more love to share because you will have your love barometer filled, since you're going to be so fulfilled the moment that you decide to step out of your comfort zone, go forward to whatever it is that you're passionate about, and just really keep on going. There will be challenges along the way. There will be times that you will feel confused, especially around the middle of 2023, but just continue to push forward, and probably by um I don't know, probably by fourth quarter, that's when you're gonna see the benefits of whatever it is that you have chosen to to do. So that's it. Pile number one. Thank you so much for staying with me. If you did like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to check on anything, or if you were able to resonate with our reading. Do follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Psyche Libertina, and again, our manifestation candles, wicks and crystals. If any one of you is a fan of manifestation, do check that out. We're also on Shopee, Instagram, and Facebook. So that's it. Pile number one. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye. Hey there, pile number two. Thank you so much for being here. If you chose our Deviant Moon Tarot, this is going to be a reading specifically regarding your 2023 career. So, first, we're going to look at the challenges that you've had for 2022, and then what's coming for you this 2023. And then lastly, we're going to seek some advice on how to handle whatever challenges or whatever it is that would be coming your way this coming 2023. So, per usual, I have your pre-shuffled oracle cards just to check the energy of your reading. If you're not able to resonate with these cards, then please feel free to check the other piles. Absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. And similarly, if you're not able to resonate with any of the piles, then most likely there isn't any message for you on this reading. So, general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest. So, for your first oracle, we have here grounding. Go deep, explore your roots. Hmm. Okay. Illusionary obstacles. I was gonna say when I pulled this na parang, you really have to stop fantasizing and really focus on what you have. And then you have your opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Got it. Okay. So, for your oracle cards, specifically pile number two. So, I think that right now you're in this situation where you sort of like lost, parang you lost the grit to do whatever it is that you're doing, your job, your business, parang nawala ka sa hulog. I think that right now you're at that stage where you are questioning if this is really something that you wanted to do. You have a lot of thoughts in your mind, sort of like some with illusionary obstacles here. I think that parang you are not just, you're not just daydreaming for things to just magically fall into place. But I think that you're worried about things that haven't even happened yet. You're not giving yourself a fair chance or your business a fair chance to grow. For example, let's say you have a business na, let's say you sell food. You think that parang you're not selling because your food isn't great. When as a matter of fact, everyone who tasted it, like whoever bought from you, whether they be friends or not, it's really good. However, you think na parang what's causing it not to make as much sales is because it doesn't taste well, when in fact what's causing it to not sell as much is because your own, your own parang not really, yeah, your own fear na it's not going to be well accepted by others. You're not giving it a fair chance. Instead of marketing it to the best possibility, to the best way you can, you're sort of like holding back na tipong, what if people have negative things to say about it? So you're afraid of things that haven't even happened yet. So hindi tuloy magkaroon ng, so whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's your job or even if it's your business, you're not giving yourself and whatever it is that you do a fair chance to, for success. With opposition here, I think na you're doing, kumbaga parang what you're doing and your expectation of this, of your career or of your business is in opposition with each other. You want it to grow, but you don't want to spend time in it. You want to be promoted, but you don't want to spend time working hard for it. Sabi nga nila, diba, if people can get what they prayed for, it's also a requirement that you work hard for what you want to get. So you have here also grounding, go deep, explore your roots. You're actually doing what you like, but for some reason, masyado ka nawawala. You're in a hurry to reap the benefits. So tuloy, when you feel that there are challenges, as there always will be, you just parang pull back and sort of, I guess, sort of just, stop and just, oh, maybe this isn't the thing for me. Sabi nga nila, diba, in business or at work, there's always like downtime. There's always a stage where it doesn't make as much sales, or you don't earn as much, or you're not given your bonuses. You just get your, you just get your basic salary. Whenever those days come, parang you start to think, this is really just not enough. Instead of focusing on what you have, you focus on the lack. So that's just really your energy. Pile number 2. So let's move this and then let's check your cards. Here. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. All right, cool. So, you know what? I would like to move it here. There's your 8 of Pentacles. You know what, sometimes whenever I fix cards like this, I don't notice, but it gives me a message specifically for you. For example, like I said earlier, instead of working for things to be better, to give yourself or to give your business a better chance at, at gaining the recognition, you hold back on it. You belittle the capability of your business or your job. And instead, you just fantasize. You just fantasize about the 75,000 things that can go wrong. I think yung gamot dito is like really positive thinking and manifesting. Sabi nga nila, diba, when you have such negative thoughts to place, or when you have such negative thoughts to give out into the universe, a lot of negative things come back as well. So the universe loves appreciation. So if you keep on saying thank you, it's gonna give you more, because it likes receiving thank yous and appreciation. So that's just like a normal person. So spirit, career situation of pile number 2, please. You have here the Queen of Pentacles. See, whatever it is that you're doing, it already had a lot of potential. Even in the year 2022, it was something that was that was meant to give you greatness. You have here the Hermit, but you decided to withdraw and you decided to, like limit the power that can give you. These 2 cards alone are already in contradictory with each other. Someone who's just very out there, someone who's very giving, the energy of being really grandiose, being followed by something that pulls back, something that is scared, something that, has a lot of things to hide. You have here the King of Cups in reverse. Oh, here. You have here the Star upright. Yeah. Oh, you have here, what's this? The Four of Wands in reverse. Wow. And what's this? The Nine of Pentacles upright. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, you have your Judgment in reverse. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about this King of Cups first before I forget. The moment that you start, the moment that you start embracing this thing that you are currently doing, that is when things will start falling into place. That's when, the blessings will come pouring in. That's when you will find your own self-fulfillment. That is when, the money starts coming in. That is when you get financial freedom. So that's a very specific message. I just had to say it because I might forget. And that's a very strong message because it was like just really hit me right in the face. So let's talk about the challenges that you've had. You know what? I think I want to get one more card. Why is the Hermit here? What is this Hermit energy? You have here the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about your cards. So, I think that one of the challenges, or the challenges that are being shown here in this portion for 2022, like I said earlier, the Four of Wands is a very positive card. It talks about union, talks about, things falling into place. It talks about stability, grounding talk. In fact, it's an angel number 1111. So where you at right now is something that will bring you the most blessings. It's something that has given you a lot already, but for some reason you choose to not see the benefits that you're getting from it. It could be na parang this job that you're in has been providing for you, or has been able to give you exactly what your family needs, but for some reason you decide to see the negative sides of it. For example, bigla na lang na may isip mo na, oh my gosh, like the pay is so liit, or I'm not getting what I'm supposed to get, when in fact, if you look back, it was able to give you everything that you needed. You probably could have, helped your parents. You probably could have sent your kids to school. Now, there really isn't anything with what your career is currently giving you. It's more of like your perspective towards your career. With the Hermit card being here and the High Priestess being in reverse, two of which are major arcana cards. I think na you're you're sort of like finding fault in this job that you're doing because you think that it's not something that works for you, when in fact it is the exact thing that you need. The Hermit talks about introspection and looking inward, but with the High Priestess here being in reverse, it's as if you're not noticing that there isn't anything wrong, that there isn't anything that's hidden from you. Whatever it is that you needed to get from this job or to get from this career was given to you. It was a blessing in itself. With grounding being here, this 1111 being here, I think that you need to appreciate what you have. You need to really dig deep, and you really need to look back at why you are here in the first place and what the benefits of this job or this work or this business has given you. If you are a business person, or if you have a business, then try to think, this business has provided for you a lot before. It could be something that has given you, the financial stability that you needed for a certain period of time. However, why did you withdraw from it? Did you stop working at it? Did you stop parang spending as much time as doing advertisements? Did you sort of hide it from the world? Is it something na parang instead of, parang instead of bringing it out and showcasing what your business can do, you decided to you decided to um you decided to just parang not work with it as much before. Remember, this thing that you're doing thrived because you worked hard for it. You spent day and night working for it. It may not have been perfect. It was indeed a struggle, but eventually you created a system, which is why it worked. Now, all you have to do is to address, to sort of like trace back what you did and do it again. Do not be afraid of trying new things, because this business or this job that you are in, it already is stable in itself. Pero parang kumbaga, if it's given you a lot in the past and then you failed to thank it, you failed to appreciate it, di ba kahit sinong tao naman, if you fail to appreciate someone or someone who's giving you something, then that person just stops giving you something. Kasi parang you're less appreciative, or alam mo yun, parang masyado kang mareklamo. So that is basically the challenge that you've had in 2022, and that's what's causing you to be in this current situation, less fulfilled situation, or less stable situation that you are in right now. It's not just really with the judgment card being here in reverse, it's more of like you making poor choices, so to say. It's you not valuing the things that you needed to value. It's you being less thankful of what you have right now. Kumbaga parang instead of being thankful na parang the world is just really struggling right now and you're still where you are, kumbaga, even if you feel that you're not moving, the fact that you're able to sustain it is a blessing in itself. So yon, that's a very particular message. Now, talking about this King of Cups here at the center, you know what? Let's draw and clarify first. You have here the Moon in reverse, yeah. The Fool in reverse. Okay. You have here the Four of Pentacles, and what is this? The Seven of Cups. Okay. Back of your deck, you have here the Five of Wands. Yep. Okay. Got it. So, now, what do you need to do? So, your energy right now with the King of Cups being here, and the moon is ruled by Cancer, and the King of Cups, for some reason, I look at it as something, I take it as something that's also that can also be ruled by Cancer. Why? Cups is a water sign, and the Cancer sign is the cardinal water sign. So it could be that, you know, you're failing to see, you're letting your emotions, your fear crowd you. With the moon here being in reverse, I think that this reading is very, very helpful for you, because you know, things are now, you're now discovering you're now discovering, and it's being really told, you know, it's, you're being told right in your face na parang you really need to look deep within you, kasi what went wrong here is not about external forces. It's more about an internal force, or your internal struggle. The King of Cups being here in reverse in the moon, I think that you need to not just gain clarity, but you need to have acceptance in this thing that you're doing. You need to accept that this in itself is a blessing, and this is what you're supposed to do, or this is something that works for you. If this is not something that you want to do, then most likely this isn't your pile, because whatever it is, or wherever it is that you are right now, this is something that you prayed hard for before. Okay? So this is like sort of the answer for your prayer. Nung siguro, probably a few years back, you prayed for this job or you prayed for this business, but for some reason, you just withdrew from it. And you're being reminded now that you really need to work on it. You need to go past the challenges. There are always going to be good and bad sides at everything, whether you move a job, or whether you move jobs, whether whether you move jobs, or whether you change the scenery, or whether you go for something else, there will always be challenges. There will always be two sides of the story. So what you need to do right now is you need to get a hold of your emotions. You need to not be afraid of going after a challenge. You need to embrace the good things and the bad things that come with this chosen career of yours. Now, once you've done that, everything is just gonna fall into place. The star talks about hope. The blessings will start to pour. It's going to be something that's going to be a fresh start for you. It's going to be as if it was still beginning. If your business was, let's say, or if your business or if your job was, let's say, you had a lot, for some reason, let's say, It gives you financial stability. Let's give a figure. For example, when you were starting your business, or when you were just starting with this job, you were able to, let's say, save 10,000 pesos. And then all of a sudden, diba, you felt na it's not enough, it's just 10,000, other people are making more, blah, blah, blah. Remember, your journey is different from someone else. And sometimes their luck is at a different timeline than your luck. But everyone is given the same amount of luck that they are supposed to receive. So the universe is abundant. It's never really gonna run out. So let's say, going back to that sample, before, you can save 10,000, or you get the sales of 10,000, which is, you get to save it. Your salary is more than enough. You get to save 10,000 again. And then all of a sudden, you feel that it's not enough. The moment that you embrace that this is something that's been giving you, that 10,000 pesos before, which nung medyo bata ka pa, 10,000 was like, oh my God, parang that's really, really a lot. If you embrace that and you start to thank the universe and you start to really embrace what is being given to you, it will start again. Kung nitong huli, if this past few months it's been really, really rough, like you find yourself short financially, you find yourself losing money, the blessings are gonna start pouring, and it's going to be as if, oh my gosh, I started saving 10,000 again. And then it's just gonna keep on growing. The Fool is the beginning, is the first card of the tarot. So it always talks about beginning, it always talks about a journey, it always talks about risks. Now, even if this is in reverse, the fact that it is just clarifying the star, this is going to, jumpstart this whole new cycle for you again. The blessings are gonna start pouring. I can, oh my gosh, a lot of blessings and a lot of fulfillment for you. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles being here, you're just gonna find yourself sorry about the noise. I'm filming in the morning. So you're just gonna find yourself na, other than you're financially fulfilled, it's something that's really, you wouldn't really find yourself na parang really struggling pa. Kasi there was a point here where when you stepped away from it, you found it to be less sustaining. It's not able, your career or your job or your business is not able to sustain whatever it is that you need. So that's over. Now I know why this one fell with this. The Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, whenever it's in reverse, talks about fantasizing. So your fantasies, the fact that this is in reverse, your fantasies are now going to be your reality. Whatever it is that you have been manifesting, the moment that you embrace whatever was given to you before, and the moment that you make good with that, it's just going to manifest everything. It's just really going to turn everything into this world. This Five of Wands energy, stop being in confusion with yourself about this thing that you needed to do, because I think we've pretty much touched what you needed to do. Just go forward with it. Whatever wrong decisions you have made before, it's already in the past, so you can just let go of that. Now let's ask the challenges that you may experience in order for you to get to this state where you are, very, very stable. Whatever it is that you wanted to manifest for yourself, you have a lot of pentacles here. So clearly, diba, you have a lot of pentacles and a lot of cups. So this is just really going to be something that is financially fulfilling for you. It's going to be something that will be emotionally fulfilling as well. So when you're doing a career reading, I don't really know. I don't really know what else you can wish for. What more can you wish for? Challenges, Ace of Pentacles. So there is a lot that's coming for you. Pile number 2, I did say that this is going to be a fresh start for you with a Fool card here, but you need to be able to manage this time. Okay, you need to be able to manage your finances better with the Queen of Pentacles here, the Ace of Pentacles, and this 11-11 here, this Four of Wands. Everything is just gonna fall into place, but you really need to embrace it this time. Wag mo na ulit tong pagtatampuhan. Don't turn your back on this business or this job again, because it may not give you another chance if you do it again. You have here the Magician, yeah. So just, wow. So you're really manifesting this money. Whatever it is that you wished for, whatever it is that you wish, oh, there, the Empress. Such nice cards. Oh my god, I'm getting the chills. And whenever I get the chills, you know that it's true. And you have here the Three of Swords in reverse. Wow. Underneath, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. So similarly, this self-restriction that you have within yourself, if you do not believe that your job, your business, or whatever your career isn't working for you, you have to let it go, because that is still the underlying energy that you have right now. Kumbaga, if you have a business, market it, embrace it. If you think that people will laugh at it because you, like for example, ako, if you feel that people will laugh because I do tarot reading um as my hobby, I should stop thinking about that. And that's also an advice for you. If you think, if you're someone, if you're a guy and then you like making scented candles, I remember that movie by Nina Dobrev, I forgot, but it's like when she fell in love with someone who she met like on a, parang on a dating app, and then ended up like he's not really, the picture is different, but he's really like a nice guy, you know. It's sort of like that. If your family thing, if you're doing something and you feel that it's not gonna pan out, you know, stop those self-restricting thoughts and just really go for it. Embrace what is being given to you, or what has been given to you. This more of like is an advice. There isn't really any challenge that I see here further, other than, you know, yung internal battle mo of being able to accept this gift. There is something that's starting for you. A lot of money is coming, a lot of new chances, a lot of new opportunities within the same thing, within the same job, within the same business. So you just have to, you know, you just have to push it further to grow, especially with the Empress card being here, and the Magician. If you already have a business, then, you know, parang kumbaga, invest on it, make it grow. If you are already in a job, invest on it, work harder so that you get that promotion. And everything is ending. Everything, the heartbreak, the struggles, the moment that you embrace this, the moment that you really put your heart, your effort, your mind into this, everything is just gonna fall into place. It's gonna give you all of the benefits that you've been praying for, and this heartbreak that you've had before, it's just really gonna go. It's just really over. The moment that you stop restricting yourself from going or receiving the benefits or the blessings of the universe with whatever you already have right now, the heartbreak is just gonna end. It's as if it didn't ever happen. So that's it. File number 2. Thank you so much for staying with me. I did really like your reading, and if you did also like this reading, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to check on anything. If you're able to resonate with any of my videos, please let me know. I would highly appreciate it. Do follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Psyche Libertina, and yeah, our manifestation candles if you're interested. It's Wicks and Crystals, Wicks N, like letter N crystals. So we're on Shopee, Instagram, and Facebook. So that's it. File number 2. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I will see you on your next reading. Bye. Hey there, pal number 3. Thank you so much for being here. If you chose our Marchetti, Marchetti Tarot, I can never learn how to pronounce that. This is gonna be a reading for your 2023 career predictions. So we are gonna look first at the challenges that you've had in 2022, what led you to this situation, and then we're gonna look at what's gonna happen for your career in 2023, and then lastly we're gonna look for advice. But before we start, I have here your pre-shuffled oracle cards to check the energy of this reading. If you're not able to resonate with this pile, then please feel free to choose another pile. Absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one pile. And similarly, if you're not able to resonate with any of the piles for today, then there most likely isn't any message for you on this video. Again, general disclaimer, this is a general tarot reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest. So for your first oracle, we have here grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. You had 2 of these, by the way. You had advice from a cat. Choose love. this. And you have house one, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. Okay. So about your career, this energy is very familiar. This energy seems like, sort of like the same energy as the previous pile. I'm not gonna say which ones, but if you're drawn to that pile as well, or if you're drawn to two piles, then most likely it's most likely it's true. Let me sip my tea. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I think pile number one. No, not pile number one. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I just said it. If you're drawn to pile number one, then most likely that you may want to check that out because it has a very similar energy. I think that pile number three for the longest time, you've been, you've been sort of like in a cage, and I think that right now 2023 is going to open new doors for you, something that's going to speak to your heart, and something that's been parang something that's been nagging at the back of your head for the longest time. I think that you are going to pursue something that is more of like passion than just getting a job or just getting the bills paid or just a means to an end. I think that if anything, even in if you're not where you want to be, I think you need to, with grace and gratitude here, I think you need to stop hating. You need to stop hating your life right now. Pile number three. There is a lot of like confusion, stagnancy, or emotions of lack in your pile, that on the onset you're being advised na you need to see the good things, even when you need to see the good in things, even if you feel that they're not as good. Okay. um this 2023, I think that you're going to be pursuing something that you love, something that you feel passionate about. Yeah, this is very similar to pile number one. But more importantly, you really need to stop hating, kasi the reason why you're having difficulty right now, um the reason why you're having difficulty right now, pile number three, and the reason why you feel that you're very stagnant with house one here, um your energy should be active, but for some reason it's being withdrawn, is because you're putting a lot of negativity into your life, into the universe. Remember, the universe bounces back what you give it. It's sort of like a mirror. If you give it crap, it gives you crap back. If you give it thanks, then it gives you a lot of, more things to be thankful for. So that's just your energy. We're going to look at your tarot and see what exactly is happening here. Let me put this up. There. Do you see it? Yeah. Cool. And I will place this one. Similar to this Eight of Coins. Parang it's sort of like restricted. This thing that you're doing, you feel trapped about it. Now don't be. If anything, you're good at what you do. That's the only difference probably. You're good at what you do, but you don't appreciate that you're good at it. So, let's shuffle these cards. Huh. I don't know why you hate where you are right now. Pile number three. We're gonna look at what that challenge is and then how you can fix that. Because you can't bring that baggage into 2023. Pile number three. It's not gonna be good for you. It's not gonna be good for the environment. It's not gonna be good for your overall career. So you really just need to, you really need to let it go. So Spirit, career situation of pile number three, please. What were their challenges and what's coming for them? this 2023 in terms of their career? You have here the Ace of Coins or the Ace of Pentacles. So this job that you're in right now could have been something that was a fresh start for you. And then you have the Ten of Coins. Wow. For a career reading, grabe Ace and Ten of Coins. You have here the Ten of Wands in reverse. Yun lang. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. You have here the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so this is very similar nga to pile number 1. And then you have here the Lovers in reverse. Okay. And then back of the deck, you have here the Hermit in reverse. All right, so let's talk about your cards, pile number 3. So I think that one of the challenges that you've had before, actually, it's not really a challenge. For some reason, I think this is something that is financially fulfilling for you. It's something that has given you what you want, but not necessarily what you need. It's something that has been, that has catapulted you into a very, a prestigious position. It's it's something that has probably given you, whatever it is that you have right now, the material things that you have right now. And it's something that has put you on a pedestal with your family or with the crowd in general. With the Fox being here as the Ace of Coins, I think na it's funny because this is something that you wanted. This is something that you wanted before, and this is something that has given you what you wanted before. But for some reason, you feel that this is a burden already. You feel that this is something that is giving you too much stress. You think that your job right now is something that doesn't make you feel happy anymore because of the fact that it's just really too stressful. Now, with the Queen of Cups being here, your 2023 is gonna be better, if anything. It may not be as smooth as how you expect work to be, whether it's a business or a job. It's not going to be as smooth, but it's something that you're going to end up loving. It's something that's going to make you realize a lot of things about yourself. I think that for the longest time you've been so restricted, not just restricted in terms of pursuing things that you love, but it's more of like it has restricted you to act in a certain way that makes you feel less free. It could be na parang you're tied to a desk job when you're really someone who loves life, who loves to travel. So that's gonna change. For 2023, it's not gonna be extreme. If that's what you're thinking, kunwari parang, okay, full work from home, so you can just work from wherever. It's not gonna be like that. It's probably going to be, all right, 2 days work from home, 3 days work in the office. So it's going to be a balance of some sort. Now, with the Hermit card being here, I think I'll place it here na lang. With the Hermit card being here, I think na there right now kasi parang you're withdrawing from it. You withdrew from it, but you're slowly coming out of it. Whatever it is that you realized nitong the past few months that you have been contemplating if you intend to stay. If you have already made the decision to stay in this current job that you are in, then remind yourself that you made the right decision. There isn't a lot of movement that I see here. Pile number 3, if anything, 2023 is going to be more of healing for you in terms of your career. I think that it could be that you're in a management position or you're handling people and it was really a lot of challenge for you. It could be na your personal circumstances has also been a burden for you to fully enjoy what you're doing. It's actually it's actually surprising because this thing is it's very nice. It's a very nice energy. It's something that you've always wanted, something that's been very fulfilling, but for some reason you felt that it was a burden. But may I remind you, pile number 3, sabi nga ni Spider-Man, diba? With great power comes great responsibility. So you don't expect something to be so financially fulfilling and for it to be just easy. there are gonna be some challenges, but it's more of like a matter of perspective. Okay, so let's clarify these. So I want to understand, you have such positive energies here, but why is it becoming a challenge? So what's this Ace of Pentacles doing here, Spirit? You have here the King of Cups. Oh, so you're battling between your emotions. Na parang the money isn't, the money doesn't serve its purpose anymore. Okay. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, please. You have here the Death card. This is a pretty Death card. You have here the King of Wands in reverse. So, yeah. You're being too much of a negative thinker na. Pile number 3. You have here the, what's this? The Knight of Swords in reverse. And Justice upright. Yep. Back of the deck, you have here the Ten of Cups in reverse. Wow. You have here both tens. Both tens, which are so happy. Happy tens. Okay. So, let's talk about your cards. Okay, so regarding your challenges, I did say earlier that these are very positive cards, so I'm quite confused why they're going to be a challenge. I think that it's more of like really just your perspective. Pile number 3. The Ace of Coins is something that brings you a new beginning, in the material world, new beginning in your job, financial stability. But for some reason, it caused you to give up things that you like. Like I said earlier, it could be that you didn't want to work a desk job, but it's something that was needed at the moment that you had this job or you had this business, and it sort of stopped you from doing the things that you want, which is why it's becoming a challenge, or it has become a challenge for you. With the Death card being here, I think that I think that I think that you gaining the financial status that you had um sort of like changed you in ways that you didn't want. For example, you could have been like a person who is more withdrawn right now. The more money that you had, the more isolated you felt. It could be na you were given these blessings, and then probably you thought so highly of yourself too much, with the eagle being here na parang you felt untouchable just because you had the money, you had the financial stability, and that in itself is a challenge. Why? Because the moment that we lose our humanity, and the moment that we sort of lose the warmth of life within us, we lose everything. We lose ourselves. We lose the love of our people. We lose the love of our family because we become difficult. And money is known to do that. 'Di ba sabi nga nila, parang money changes people. Money changes everything. When you have money, it can change you. It can change your perspective. It can change the way that people see you. And now I know why this has become a challenge for you. I guess you weren't able to remain grounded this at the back of being given so many blessings. So it's not a bad thing, especially with Justice card being here. I think that you just really need to find the balance into being so successful and also being still on the ground. Pile number 3. I think that one of the challenges that you've had is you let it get over your head, sort of, this success that you had, which is why you felt so unfulfilled. Kasi parang you lost love, but you gained a lot of money. And that's really just a very particular energy. Now, going through the Ten of Wands and the King of Wands, both of which are fire energies, I think that you sort of like for the longest time felt burdened by certain responsibilities that was given at the back of you being the more financially stable one. It could be that you've been given responsibilities to take care of your family, to take care of people, you probably could have been sort of like put in a pedestal, but that sort of like that not really adoration, pero that respect that was given to you has become a burden. Why? Because I think na you don't really like what you have become, and there is a certain consciousness within you, especially with the hermit card being here. There is a certain consciousness within yourself and within your heart na you don't like the person that you have become along with this job that you have been given. But mind you, this job, this business, whatever has been sustaining you financially, your career, is a gift from the universe. So you just have to use it properly. If you were in this state na parang you felt na I don't want this, I don't like what I've become, it's okay. People make mistakes. Now, how do you move forward and what's coming for you? So this 2023, you'll start to realize and you'll start to actively work on finding that sweet balance between being successful and still being level-headed. Okay, with the Queen of Cups being here, being clarified by the Knight of Swords, you're not going to be ruled just by emotions. You're going to let your head rule you as well. So it's going to be a perfect balance of what you know and what you feel. You're not gonna be too emotional, because there's going to be that active action that you're going to do in order to seek better truth and better balance when it comes to your life. With the Lovers card being here in reverse and the Justice being upright, two of major arcana cards, so this must be, or this is very significant. The choice that you will make, or these choices that are coming for you, or the choices that you will be making this 2023, are going to be geared towards more work-life balance. You're going to be given that. It's going to be something that is less stressful for you. So this Ten of Wands energy is going to be resolved for 2023. It's something that will sustain your financial requirements. You may feel na it's not moving, but sometimes we don't need movement. We need more stability than movement. Especially with the Lovers card being here, I think that you'll start doing the things that you love, which you have put on hold for so long. And that's when you're gonna get the work-life balance that I've been mentioning. What else am I seeing here? I think that, if anything, as well, pile number 3, 2023 is going to be the most truthful and the most, like, the you're gonna gain more clarity in the things that you want, the things that you can work with, the things that you cannot work with, the things that you are willing to put up with, and the things that you're willing to accept. It's going to give you a lot more clarity on how much you're willing to do for your job, on how much you're willing to do for your work. Kasi before, parang it's all about work, work, work. That's where the problem was. You were just so focused on work that you forgot na, oh my gosh, I'm also human. Oh my gosh, I also have a family. Oh my gosh, I also have kids who need me to be with them. So this 2023, especially with the Ten of Cups being here in reverse, it's going to be more balanced. It's going to be more, I guess, more holistic in terms of your growth. Your finances are still going to be there. Your relationships are going to be it's going to be healed. If anything, you've had a lot of you've had a lot of withdrawal to do. What's that card? Yeah, see, Ace of Cups. So your relationships will experience like a fresh restart. I think that one of the challenges as well, especially with the King of Cups here, is you were, parang siguro one of the challenges that you've had in 2022 were your relationships. It could be that you broke up with a girlfriend or whoever your partner was. You had some trouble because of your busy schedules. Sobrang celebrity-like, pero that does happen even with normal people. So 2023 is going to be something that's going to be more fulfilling, more, more balanced for you. It's gonna be a little easier, and it's going to be something that I think it's something that's gonna help you stop asking, why am I doing this, or why am I here? It's something that you will start to accept, and it's something that's really just going to give you, a holistic growth. It could be na this relationship, which I told you, this relationship which was broken because of your busy schedules or whatsoever, there is an energy of healing here. There could be reconciliation. There could be reconciliation, and this could also be the perfect time for some of you to get married. Pile number 3. So let's now look at some challenges, or what are the challenges that you're gonna get for 2023, and how do you weather them? You have here the Nine of Swords. So be careful of regressing. Be careful of regressing. Pile number 3, be careful of like being afraid na parang when you step back, you feel that you're gonna lose your money, you're gonna lose your stability. No. Consider it na whenever you step back or whenever you pull back, it's just going to be you putting some balance into things. You have here the Queen of Swords, and I did see this peak a little earlier underneath. So yeah, so just don't be too over your head. The Nine of Swords and the Queen of Swords, they can be a little bit of an overthinker. They can be scared of things that haven't happened. The Nine of Swords, after all, is the nightmare card, so do not be afraid of things that haven't happened. Do not be afraid of exploring the truth. Kumbaga parang don't do it so much naman na parang you tend to overthink na parang every little thing that happens, you try to dissect it. So that's going to be a challenge for you, especially now that you're gaining more clarity. You have here more swords. And then here you have pentacles. So, just be careful of being a little too over your head. Huwag kang masyadong, do not let your thoughts consume you. And then you have here the Two of Coins. So again, balance with justice here. That's how you're going to resolve it. And I remember seeing this, the ballet shoes na, parang, it's going to be difficult and it's going to be painful. Okay? Pile number 3, especially when you're trying to change something. But if anything, everything just flows with balance. If it's difficult, then you take a rest. Once you've rested, you go at it again. And then you have here the Three of Wands. So again, it's a journey and it's a choice. Back of your deck, you have here the Queen of Wands in reverse. So the challenges that you're gonna have, like I said earlier, there could be a tendency of you overthinking. There could be a tendency that you think people are using you, especially with these two cards being here. So don't think like that. Be careful, be intellectual, use your brain. After all, that's the reason why it's on top of your head, and it's on top of your heart. But do not overthink it. Do not be too afraid to explore things. Okay, so if you need to pull back, then just pull back with grace. Be thankful for the blessings that you've had, and just basically, wag kang nega. Don't be so much of a negatron and don't overthink things. Now, the only thing that you need to do is just to strike a balance and to take that journey. Moving forward doesn't necessarily mean that you really have to like move from one place to another, like literally move from one place to another. Sometimes the journey can be as simple as changing your perspective. The journey can be as simple as, accepting the gifts that the universe gives you, accepting that life is just really a mixture of challenges and successes. And that alone can do a lot of, a lot of healing, and it can really give you a lot of peace, especially with the balance card being here. You've been given balance twice on your future state in 2023. So I think that it's something that you need to embrace. If it becomes a little slower than your normal pace, then consider that as a blessing. Maybe no, it's not really maybe, but it's more of like 2023 is going to be more of like a restful state for you. 2022 has been so much of a like parang hustle and bustle all the time. Parang hustle, sustain, parang endure. And you've always been on the go this 2022. Which is why it's become a challenge. Now 2023 is going to take it a little slower for you, especially with the Queen of Wands here. You're going to sort of like, not really, it's not die down, but you're going to sort of like soften that fire, that angst that you have within you, and it's going to give you your much needed rest. It's not going to change anything in terms of your stability, but it will do wonders for your heart and for your mind. Okay, file number 3. So that's it, file number 3. Thank you so much for staying with me. If you did like this video, please to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to check on anything, or if you were able to resonate with any of my readings, or if any of my videos. Do follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Psyche Libertina, and for those of you who do manifestations, I have created my own manifestation candle line, wicks, and crystals. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Shopee. So I would appreciate it if you do check it out and do follow the account. So that's it. Round number 3. Thank you so much for staying with me. I will see you on your next video. Bye!